Welcome back, BraveHearts. I'm Dr. Wolf.
Wait a minute. I'm Dr. Wolf.
Oh, wait a minute. That's my brother. And this is Dr. Marcel Wolf. And just so you know, my brother, Dr. Marcel Wolf, is one of the leading researchers and knowledgeable people in frequency, light, energy, vibration. Okay, he does what I don't do so well. And we're going to be having my brother, Dr. Marcel Wolf. He'll be coming on every second week. And he will be doing a show called Your Frequency Matters. And you'll be able to come on and ask questions. Because understand something, and you need to get this, okay? Today's one a day. They feed on us, okay? I just want to say this. Welcome to a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure called Planet Earth. And understand something. Let me make this very clear. And you can think whatever you want. And I'm not trying to come up against your beliefs, but nobody's coming to save you. Okay? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. And that should not scare you. That should empower you to know that if you take massive personal action from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, and you have a strategy on self-love and self-care and how to protect your emotion, your frequency, your vibration, your light. You are a light energy, electrical magnetic being, and they are feeding on you, okay? They feed on you, and who are they? Well, the government, the medical system, and every system that was ever created, okay? And the only system that you should trust is the universe, okay? The solar system, and your digestive system, and your system called your spirit energy. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Okay, we're not going to be talking about spiritualism. We're going to be talking about the spirit and how you need to feed your spirit if you want to heal your body. Do you get that? And you understand something. He comes in and talks about vibration and frequency and light. I'm going to come in and tell you and kick your butt and tell you that if you don't want to unconditionally, totally love yourself and care for yourself, then guess what? You're going to be sold off by the pound. You're going to get chemo. You're going to get radiation. You're going to be drugged, whether it's street drugs or whether it's pharmaceutical drugs. Okay? And do you know what pharmacy stands for? What's pharmacy stands for, Marcel? In Greek.
In Greek?
Yeah, sorcery. And that's right. Black magic. And you better get that. And you have black magic, and it's in your home, in your cupboards. You got black magic in all of your food that you eat that is processed, okay? Understand that right now. They feed off of you, okay? Now, people are going to say, wow, this Dr. Wolf guy, he's got a lot of energy. Well, you know why I got energy? Because I love, honor, and respect myself, okay? And nobody can disrespect me, and I won't put up with it. And nobody's going to tell me what to do. And I'm never going to humble myself down in front of any system. No system is going to overpower me. No system is going to tell me what to do. Do you understand? This is not anger. This is just self-love for myself. Is it? It's even in normal food. Well, of course it's in normal food, but you need to understand something, everybody. If you want to ask questions here on Facebook or on Instagram, you go right ahead. But you need to understand something. They can't poison us enough, even though they're poisoning and doing chemtrails, even though they're putting heavy metals and they're putting toxins in our food and in our water. If you were awake, because that's the only mistake, is you not being awake. Do you think they're going to ever rock me? I will never have a disease. You'll never hear of me having a disease. And you're going to go, well, you better knock on wood, doctor. I don't have to knock on wood. I know the rules, what these fools are doing. And guess what? I don't have sinner syndrome, so I can totally unconditionally love myself, never judge myself, put myself in judgment jail. And then guess what happens when I do that? I bring my vibration down. When I bring my vibration down, I allow these parasites with 2 legs and then the parasites with 100 legs to actually feed off of me, okay, internally and externally. Marcel, you want to talk about vibration?
Yeah. So, it's about the environment. The environment is going to attract dis-ease or parasites. So
you're like a magnet, and you're attracting it. So the more you disrespect yourself and the more lack of love you have for yourself, they're going to suck you dry. Okay, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, so the environment is the crucial thing here, not genetics. We've all heard that a long time ago. And so it's about creating the environment that's going to support your, optimized health, and, to recharge that battery. Everything is electric, including, bones and teeth. Everything is electric.
Marcel, how much electricity does it take to run the human body?
Equivalent
Ready for
to,
this? This is going to blow your mind.
Yeah, 1
Boom.
to a battery. That's it.
That's one AA battery.
Yeah.
One AA battery. But understand something. Every cell has electricity in it. And understand this. Tell them about the spark of life. What's that all about?
Yeah, so basically, we found out that we're actually light beings. And light is also electromagnetic, by the way. And so the moment the sperm touches the egg, there's a flash, a spark of light. It's called the zinc spark. The brighter that spark, the healthier that egg for fertilization. So they're now using it to actually determine what are the healthiest eggs for fertilization in females. And then on top of that, we've also, with gas visualization discharge technology, actually captured the moment of death, the light image leaving the body. And as Einstein said, energy never disappears, it just changes form. So in actuality, people like Tesla and Einstein said, we don't die. Yes, this mobile home, dust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, but our actual essence of our soul, of what we really are, light energy, it just transforms. As Einstein said, it can never be destroyed. It just transforms.
And guess what, everyone? You ready for this? Your personality decides the shape of your body. It decides what you have in your life, the abundance in your life on all levels. So don't change your personality. No, this is my personality. Oh my God, if I have to hear that one more time, I think I'm just going to throw up. The reality is that you need to observe yourself with unconditional love and care, and then look at the things that are not truly you. And the things that are not truly you are things that are not based on unconditional love. Now, there are going to be a lot of you that belong to certain religions, and you're just never going to get away from this. You're going to have a chokehold on you, okay? And I'm not saying all religions, but there's a lot of you, okay? And then there's a lot of you that aren't religious, but you have these beliefs that you're unworthy, or that you did something and you need to be punished for it, or you live with that when you don't need to. You need to rise above these things. You need to let go of these things. You got to remember that every book has been rewritten, okay? And from the moment that you get here, you're being lied to. Your parents love you the best they can, but they're lying to you. You go to school, you're lied to. I mean, think about it. You got out of school, you didn't know how to feed yourself. You didn't know how to love yourself, but oh my God, you were going to get together with another person that didn't know how to feed themselves or love themselves, and that's why marriage is dysfunctional. And then you were going to, guess what, anybody can have a child. All you have to do is get your pants off. And then we were going to raise a child the best that we could with all our hearts, but meanwhile, we didn't have all our heart because we used other people all our life to try to fill up our hearts, because we were never good enough to just love ourselves and fill up our own heart. Just think if you would have loved yourself and brought your vibration up, okay, if you would let yourself off the hook, if you got rid of all your chokeholds, what would that do for your vibration and frequency, Marcel?
Well, it's all about flow, right? And so the things that actually stop flow are the 3 T's, right? First is, foremost, is thought, also trauma and toxins. And included in that area of toxins is electromagnetic energy fields. I think it's going to actually prove in a not hopefully too distant future to be the most toxic element, and probably one of the major contributors in terms of disease. Disease now is going through the roof. 1962, the war on cancer, cancer was 2 out of 100, and now it's 1 out of 2. So how are we doing with that?
Well, how we're doing with it? Well, the reality is most of you can't think about what was going on 100 years ago, but if you did some homework, you would understand, okay, that the whole thing is a rule, school, and fool situation. And Marcel was talking about going with the flow. And understand something. You'll know when you're not going with the flow, because guess what? You'll have physical blocks. Do you know what a physical block is? It's called a disease. That's right. And then when you do get those physical blocks, because you're blocked up here and because you don't love and honor and respect yourself enough, you're going to go tell the doctor, the surgeon, to go and cut that block out. Otherwise, you're going to get your hip replaced, or you're going to get your spine fused, or you're going to cut out the fibroid or the tumor. You know what I mean? You're going to cut out chunks of yourself. And this is all a self-hate program. You You can believe me or don't believe me, but if you came to take my whole life coach certification, it's not a pitch, but by the third day, you would know what loving yourself was for the first time in your life, because you don't even know what that is. And everybody's going to say, that's not true. That's not true. I love myself. But you can only measure what love is with the belief systems you have, because you are unconscious about your subconscious beliefs that aren't even yours. Did you get that? I don't want to do the loop-de-loop on you, but the reality is this: you don't even know what love is. Only 1 out of 10,000 people actually love and care for themselves on this planet. And if I was wrong, then why are we going where we're going, which is the 6th extinction? And the only reason why the 6th extinction is happening is because everybody here is so scared to unconditionally love themselves, because if we did that, we'd go to hell. Because if we don't punish ourselves and live with guilt, then we will be sent to hell forever, because we're supposed to, it's all about the struggle, right? Okay, it's all about the suffering, right? Well, I'm not suffering for myself. I'm not going to suffer for you. I'm not going to suffer for the world, because the world has been sucker punched and they feed off of us. And how do they feed off of us? Because we're so willing to suffer. We're so willing to suffer for each other, pity each other, or get angry about the way the world is, instead of taking massive personal action and learning how to create a perfect day on an emotional and physical level. And that's the bottom line.
Let's look at the quote, Daryl, with regards to flow from the Canadian Cancer Society. This is something that should have been on every billboard across Canada, North America, etc. They recognize the flow of energy in the body. So that when that flow of energy is imbalanced, you have no physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual problems. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. This is an organization that had difficulty actually recognizing something called prevention. And now they're talking about flow of energy and spirituality. So, things have changed. It's just that, it hasn't been publicized to the extent that it should be.
And somebody just says here, what about dementia? Well, guess what? Dementia, I'm going to tell you something. Do you want to know the main cause of dementia? Okay, you're not going to like this. The main cause of dementia is I want to forget. That's the main cause of dementia. And that vibration will actually attract heavy metals and fungus and displace calcium. And that will, you'll have a fungal, heavy metal, calcified brain. But it didn't get caused because of that, because I can take 2 people that have the same diet, and one is rocking their world, and the other one is dying of some disease, which disease means you're not at ease, which means you're not in harmony with yourself.
You're not in resonance.
And some people will say, oh my God, he's such a prick. He's so cold. I'm not cold. The reality is guess what? You think that whoever suffers the most in the family loves the family the most. What is this? Some kind of race to death? I'm going to tell you something. You can take a look at anyone you want. And if you were to look at people as emotional light energy beings, and look at the invisible before the physical, if you were to look at the condition they're in here before the condition they have here, you would understand what makes them tick and what makes them sick and what makes them well, why they stay in hell. Because guess what? It's some belief system that says if you do this, some religion or some family curse, that if you do this, you get this. And if you're a good boy or girl, then you will punish yourself maybe for a year, maybe a month, maybe a day. You know what? I could be in on the street. How many houses maybe there are? 100 houses on the street. I could go live in each family and I can do the same wrong thing, supposedly wrong. And guess what? The punishment will be different in every house. So who's right? I'll tell you who's right. The person that's right is the person that sits down and doesn't even have to forgive people, but talks to them and has conversations and said, how can we learn, not burn? How can we observe and not judge and put each other in hell? Can Celsonic be used to break calcium deposits in the brain? Absolutely. Absolutely. Celsonic can be used to break calcium deposits in the brain. But if you use calcium ion therapy, which is the only calcium in the world that can actually take the calcium that's displaced, put it back into the same place where it came out of the bone. Go to my library and look at calcium ion therapy, and then, yes, and use the Celsonic, but also advanced water fasting. Not water fasting, but advanced water fasting. That means you can do these high vibrational nutraceuticals, which we're talking about today, is vibration, light. And if you did advanced water fasting, which we're doing one right now, we've got over 10,000 people right now doing an advanced water fast around the world with us. Every 6 weeks, we do the 6-day advanced water fast. You can go to my library and take a look at the 6-day advanced water fast guide, and then you can unleash the potential of stem cells and autophagy, which means you go in and eat up things and put things back where they need to be and get rid of things that you don't need. I was born with unconditional love and couldn't understand why everyone wasn't like me. A girl, okay, the reality is we were all born with unconditional love because we were spirit beings. And then once we got here, we got to have 2 people that raised us, and they were called adults, which were adulterated. Let me tell you something. I was a very good father, but I was adulterated. I'm awake now, but now my kids are almost raised. They're okay, and they're on their own now. So the reality is this, I let my kids know that I adulterated them, and I'm here to help them unwind that. And the reality is we can't live with guilt, but what we do need to live with is unconditional love for ourselves first and foremost, because you can't give what you're not. Your thoughts on brain injury. I just received neuro-optic modulation through lenses, no meds, da-da-da-da-da. Well, first of all, if you've got brain injury, look at calcium ion therapy in my library. We're not allowed to put it and sell it on my website because the FDA said that they would shut my website down if I put it out in the open. But that is the only calcium therapy that works in the world. The rest is BS, dysfunctional belief system. The other thing is guess what? Does anybody know about C60? I carry MCT oil C60 and hemp oil C60. That is 270 times stronger than vitamin C, and it will repair the brain completely. The brain is neuroplastic. I don't care how much damage you have in your brain. Are you willing to sip on C60 throughout the day? Are you willing to go on calcium ion therapy? Are you willing to do what's called fiber clear systemic enzymes? Are you willing to do an advanced water fast to unleash autophagy so you can go in and eat up the scar tissue? Are you willing to do an advanced water fast so that you can release stem cells? And those stem cells will go to the brain and recondition the brain. Let me tell you something. There's not a disease out there that can't be reversed. And I can say that because I'm Dr. Wolf, and I can believe what I want to believe. Just like, you know what? Cancer is not a death sentence. The word is a death sentence because they tag that on, but cancer is just stage 4 inflammation. And you can turn around any inflammation in the body as soon as you want to stop attacking yourself, and it's your beliefs that do it. You need to get this right now. Your personality is killing you and it's killing your family, or it's healing you and healing your family. You're only as dumb as your beliefs. You're only as healthy as your beliefs. You're only as rich as your beliefs. So don't give me this poverty conscious stuff. Okay, because making money is so easy for me. Making love is so easy for me. Okay. I will never put myself on the meat hook of judgment, and you can go ahead and do that. You know what? If you judge others, that just means that you judge yourself 100 times more. Oh my God, thank you. Yes, I've done everything natural. All 6 years, I was about to open an all natural clinic. And can I become, okay, listen to this. Let me tell you something. I don't care. It's all BS. I don't care if you went to school and you failed out of school at grade 6. If you've got passion, you got purpose, you could come to BHN University, that's our university, and you could go all the way through and become what? You could become what? A doctor in natural medicine, doctor in Indigenous medicine. And understand something right now. Don't you dare even say, oh my God, he's not a real doctor. Well, no, I'm not a real doctor, surgeon, or physician that gives drugs or surgery, but I'm a real doctor. Doctor means teacher. Everybody needs to wake up. They've been sucking off of you and feeding off of you. And as soon as you want to stop attacking your brothers and sisters and people like myself, you know, people like myself will get attacked, but they won't come after the medical system, or they won't talk about the medical doctors because you all fear them. Meanwhile, they're the 3rd leading cause of death. Now, I'm not putting them down because in emergency care, they do amazing. My daughter wouldn't be alive. Yes or no? Do most people know how to dump dopamine? End of story. End of story. So remember something. It's all about beliefs, everybody. It's all about belief systems. And understand, you're either going to be the family curse or you're going to be the family blessing. And this is what I teach in my whole life coach certification. Now, a week from this Monday, I start one in Barrie. We have 2 spots left. Understand, go to BraveHeartNation.com. If you right now say you don't have the money, well, guess what? I don't have the money. I don't have times, and then it becomes the truth, and then nobody thinks, and when nobody thinks, everybody's telling the lie. And here's the deal: that which created the whole universe has always beyond unconditionally loved us. So if you want to believe the truth that God is judging us and somebody made up some rules, and if we don't follow them, that we need to be punished or go to hell, what do you think that does to your vibration? What if you believe in a system where you're unworthy or you're not good enough? If you're not unworthy and you're not good enough and you don't deserve something, then you're not going to get it. So you better get this. I don't believe in that. And then people are going to be on here and some people going, he's going to go to hell now for sure. He's going to go to hell. Well, guess what? How do I look? I'm not going to hell. And understand this. I want to ask you a question. What about all these people that have these deep religious beliefs, okay? And they can't get themselves well. And they can't even make enough money to feed their family. And then we've got these so-called psychos that don't have any health conditions and have all the money. Oh, I get it. Yeah, when they die, they go to hell, right? But meanwhile, you understand, the whole thing is just ludicrous. And this is how they feed off of us. Listen, you can keep your creator and I'll keep mine. My creator has never judged me. My creator said, Daryl, you're going down to a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure and you're rocking it, buddy. Nobody's making you hate yourself. Nobody's making you sick because guess what? You're minding your own business. You're filling up your own heart. You're not feeding off your family. You're shining your light and that's it. So you think about that one because it's all about frequency. Marcel?
Yeah, so nature has one strategy, one rule for surviving and thriving, and that is this. It gravitates to those things that give it energy and turns away from and runs away from those things that don't. So, it's said that man will say any damn thing that he wants, and he normally does.
Yeah, what if, you know what, remember, does anybody remember when taxi cab drivers had this thing and they had to pull it down, and then when you would drive, it'd go tick, 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 and that's how they would charge you? Tick, tick, tick. Well, guess what? What if we had that, where we had to, every time we open our mouth, we had to pull this down, we had to pay for what we said. And guess what? But guess what? When you don't think, other people are paying for what you said, and you will pay for it too. You know what? Most people do not understand. They are unconscious about their subconscious beliefs that aren't even their beliefs. And you got to get that. You know, I love my life. The only people that I know that really do not like me are the ones that don't like my beliefs. Well, guess what? They should mind their own business because I'm going to. I love my beliefs. And I don't care if somebody doesn't love me, if somebody hates me or they hate me, they love me, they like me. It doesn't matter because I have only one rule: do no harm. And if I'm disturbing somebody on this page, they can just jump off, right? And then they can go somewhere else and they can go and listen to something that feeds their beliefs. And I don't care what your beliefs are. Just make sure there's only one rule: that you're in love with yourself and that you believe in yourself and that you know that you have unlimited power and that you are neuroplastic and you can change. And every day you should be changing by 1%.
So what's the number one law in nature? Choose. There's two words, not easy to live by. Choose life. It actually also happens to be the number one law out of 613 laws of the Jewish Orthodox faith. And so, whether you're putting something in physically or in mentally, spiritually, you have to ask yourself, am I choosing life? And it's only two words, but it can be pretty hard to live by.
Yeah, and the only reason why it's hard is, I'm going to tell you something right now. 1 out of 10,000 people will have the life that they